At the time of making this video, the Battlefield community has only had their hands on Battlefield Portal for 4 days, and already the results are super impressive. Battlefield Portal is something that I have been incredibly excited about for 2042, and it's the feature I've probably spoken about the most in the whole build up to 2042. Something I want to do on the channel and something I want to continue to do with 2042 is to highlight really cool Battlefield Portal experiences, and these things are going to get progressively more complex and more interesting as time goes on, but I just want to highlight cool stuff that's happening. And over the past couple of days, I've collected a handful of experiences which I thought were a lot of fun, including some really wacky ones, and I wanted to show them to you today. Now this video today is sponsored by the guys over at EA. A huge shout out to them for supporting the channel and supporting the Battlefield 2042 content that I'm creating. The first Battlefield Portal experience that I want to show to you guys is something pretty crazy, and it's Squid Game in Battlefield 2042. Now this was created by the streamers 2 Angry Gamers, if you haven't heard of them before. They're a UK streaming duo who have a really interesting community, and they handcrafted this mode. And if you're unfamiliar with Squid Game, the Netflix phenomenon, there is a red light, green light game at the very beginning of the series, which is probably what a lot of you are familiar with in terms of games that you might have played as a kid, but this time with a Battlefield 2042 take. Now if the light is green, you're allowed to run around with a knife and stab anybody who you can see and chase after them. Stabbing them will take away a point if they happen to have points available. But when it hits red light, if you move when red light is active, your character is killed instantly and loses a point for moving when red light is active. You're given a sniper rifle with a single bullet in it, and you have to try and shoot anybody who is in your visible range. Everybody also automatically becomes spotted in 3D as soon as the red light activates. This is the first iteration of this mode, and it's super crazy, super wacky, and honestly just a lot of fun. Being able to, survive and die depending on whether it's green light or red light, and trying to nail those super close scores, sniper shots or DMR shots, is a hell of a lot of fun. So huge props to these guys, because this was a really cool mode to play. I had a lot of fun with it, I'm sure the community had a lot of fun with it, and it's a great example of what is possible in 2042. The next mode was a 28 versus 100 man zombie server, and the idea of this server is very simple. It's a rush setup where there are 100 infected players versus 28 2042 operators. The infected move faster, they only have knives, they have the ability to revive one another, and they have smoke grenades. And they have to try and rush the MCOMs on rush and activate them and get them to be destroyed. The 28 operators have access to full-blown weaponry and have to pick off the infected and prevent them from progressing on the line and stop them capturing each objective in rush. This again is an early iteration of this mode, definitely some balancing kinks to figure out here and there, but it's a lot of fun. It's an entirely different experience with different movement speed, lack of fall damage, and just something that is possible now in 2042. And humans vs zombies has always been quite traditionally popular in community servers, and now you can improve and iterate on that even more so. It was super exciting, I had a good time in this mode. It's a little bit different and nice to take a break, it's almost like a palate cleanser so to speak, and it was good to play. Now, step away from the wacky modes for a moment, and we went to a classic rush server, which is something I really like, and this was fun. I was playing with Broken, Westy, and Lossy, and we wanted to try out something a little bit different. We've been playing a lot of Breakthrough on All Out Warfare, and we decided to go to this Battlefield 3 server, which was transport vehicles only, and offering a 64-player rush on all supported rush maps. It was a lot of fun. There were no attack vehicles, there were no aerial vehicles, there was a full emphasis on infantry versus infantry, and it was just good fun to play. With Battlefield 3 movement and Battlefield 3 style weapon handling, it just felt good, it felt fun, it felt impactful. And it was really interesting. We had lots of tense moments and lots of moments where things got tricky. We had to try lots of different flanks. El Amiens is an interesting rush map, Valparaiso as well. And it just offers a different take on the traditional 2042 or any other experience that you can find in the game. Rush isn't a main mode of all-out warfare, but it definitely has a place to stay here on Battlefield Portal. And it's a nice mix-up of things. Lots of other games are kind of heavily reliant on limited time modes to keep things interesting, but with Battlefield Portal and a handful of friends, you can kind of craft your own LTMs. Sometimes you want a super grounded Battlefield experience, which is hardcore or realistic, and other times you want something stupid and crazy like Squid Game or Humans vs Zombies. and this experience was really a lot of fun. It was nice to get back into Battlefield 3 mechanics. It looked fantastic as well on the remastered maps, and yeah, just another example of something somebody had cooked up already. There's actually a lot of hardcore servers out there already, or military simulator style servers, which have reduced HUDs, different TTK values, and are trying to create formulas that are more interesting in the game and refine it even more so. So a really cool plus so far. The next mode I tried out was very simple. Gun game in 2042. Pretty simplistic, but a lot of fun. Battlefield has always had some kind of crazy alternative, be it gun game or scavenger mode, and I would really like to see if somebody can create scavenger mode, because that would be super cool to see in the future. But yeah, pretty much a fairly simplistic take on gun game. Every time you get a kill, you get a new weapon, until a certain limit is reached with the final weaponry available. And this was a simple mode that I just happened to found on the server browser. And of course, at the moment there is the classic Battlefield 3 experience, classic 1942 experience, and Bad Company 2 experience available just by default if you want to play any of those specific modes. I'm really interested to see where Battlefield Portal goes. There are a lot of tools at people's disposal that perhaps we don't even understand the full extent of at the moment, and I'm sure people who are more familiar with coding or just have a more intricate knowledge of how these things work will be able to create and craft really interesting modes. But at the bare minimum, it serves a lot of purposes that we haven't seen in Battlefields before. The ability to test and learn things, the ability to play against bots and play against AI and try and learn how to use different mechanics. The ability to just do things in different ways that I don't think we've seen for a while. You don't necessarily need a test range if you want to spawn in, 127 bots all on a low skill caliber and test out your weapons and test out how things work. That's entirely possible and available to you. And of course, anybody can create these experiences and share them with their friends via the share code in the game, which is super exciting because it means that you don't necessarily need to have this sort of understanding of coding to create an experience or craft something interesting. If you and your friends just want a slightly more hardcore 2042, you can do that. If you want a certain experience without a certain weapon enabled, you can do that. And there are plenty of options available for the future of Battlefield 2042 that I think are going to create some fantastic results. I hope you guys enjoyed these Battlefield 2042 Portal experiences as much as I do, and I'm really interested to see what you guys craft or what you want to craft. Drop some stuff in the comment section down below. Hell, even share some of your Battlefield Portal experiences if you want to, and if they're really cool, we might even play them here on the channel. As always folks, thank you for watching, leave a like, leave a sub, and I'll catch you in the next one.